Hey, well, welcome back to the channel. What we're going to do today is we've got this little bathroom off of one of the bedrooms, and we're going to take and demo. All of this is going out. We'll give everything to the local restore location here, but I'm going to end up taking out the toilet, the sink, all the trim on all sides, cleaning this up, and all of these bars will come out. But this will all be taken down and we'll get things ready, because I think the very first thing we're going to probably do is, actually those don't look too bad. I was looking at the doors. Yeah, actually these don't look bad at all. I was going to think, well, should we repaint the trim around the doors and all that? I think this is just going to be wiping it down. So we're just going to go ahead and start demoing this and get to where we're at a point where maybe we can just start painting the walls today. Let's get at it. Oh man! Shoo! Good thing I wasn't standing in any water. Okay, so one stupid thing deserves another. You should have looked at this a little bit better. But look what happened. You got electrocuted. Holy crap. Turn off the thing there. That's a good thing to do. Okay, well, lesson learned. Make sure everything's turned off first. So I was able to get that out without too much damage. It is pretty nasty, but I'm going to get those undone. We're going to pull the sink out, so all of that will come out at the same time. But I'll just work on that. So now it's just prying this thing up. Let's see if we can. Well, that was easy enough. I think it probably was. Well, that took just a little bit of time, but the issue really was there was this plate down here. So, I mean, that piece of trim kept me from getting that out. Of course, also I had to trim that out a little bit more too. But we're gonna get this out. Once we get this out, we'll just kind of clean things up. Probably do some prep. I do need to take out this side too. Do some prep on the wall because we'll end up taking and spackling and painting. But at least for now, we can have this area cleaned up nice. It's so strange those things are so loose in there. So I'm going to come back in here and take a look at this. But one thing, I got to figure this out. Do we? And I think that we do. I'm not going to pull it up yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this all up and we're going to put that floor down on that. This is sticky. So that's what we're going to do. But of course we don't have to do that until we get the cabinet set, and then we can tear this up. And we'll tear that up from there because then we'll do that other side. I thought I wasn't going to have to paint these doors. They look to be a mess. So that is something that we're going to do. So I think for the rest of the day, let's take, and I'm just going to take and scrape a bunch of this stuff. I'm going to put spackling down. I don't have my vacuum, or I'd come in here and vacuum this up. But I could paint all of the doors, get those all nice, and then paint the walls, get that all taken care of. Well, there we go. Good solid day's work. Got a lot of stuff kind of cleaned up. I'm going to take these lights back that we've got because I'd like to get something that has a full plate on it. And the one that we've got is only has this little round area. So we're going to let this dry. I think I'll go back and do some more spackling after that. Then the next thing is we're going to paint these doors all white. We're going to, bring it right in and make sure that everything's going to be feathered out. We'll tape up the hinges, and I may be faster with a little roller just to roll all those. It depends, but I think that's it for today. So I've been painting for a long time and I just have a method to do this, but I've never really got to the point where I was painting a condo. So where you knew the floors were going to be ripped up or the baseboard is going to be all taken up. I think the thing that I really need to look at going forward is any room that we paint, we first repaint all the trim. Just because, this trim is pretty nasty. The doors are nasty. We should have just did that. We should have come in and do exactly like I'm doing here and just get a nice coat. We may have to go over and do another coat. We'll see. This one here is looking pretty good, but that way we won't have to caulk as much, because we did caulk on the other side, which still was not a big deal, but we've got the trim painted now and it's cut in really well. So we'll let that really dry, and then we'll be able to put some tape on there and make that side there really clean. And if we also need to come back with a bead of caulk and make it even cleaner, we will. I do have a method behind my madness here. So one of the things that I do is I first come in and I cut in all of these block areas. Because you can be kind of messy at that point. And then I start feathering it out. And the biggest thing is so not to have this, kind of excess paint in these corners. But I'll get each one of these worked out. And then I don't know if you were, I know it's awful fast, but one of the things that I did do is look to see how wood is put together. So what I end up doing is I come across with this here, knowing that I'm going to cut across on these higher parts. See how when I cut that, it kind of makes it look like those were joined. And that's just kind of the method that I'll use for that. And then I do these sides when they're all finished. Looks like I have to do all of this, so I'm going to get that done. We'll just finish up the rest of this door, and then that'll actually be it for today. So if you watched any of the other painting the other rooms, I do have a Dutch Boy gallon paint. It's their platinum. I really didn't like it. I thought it was really thin. I bought it at Menards. The only part that I like about it is that I really like the Dutch Boy can. I just thought that the coverage was really bad on it. I had to do, I think, three coats in one room, but I went and I bought some different stuff. I think it was Sherwin-Williams or something like that, and it went on really nice, and I only had to put another coat on. So I'm using the can because I really like the can. But I'm going to go ahead and paint all this in. Okay, for the first coat, we've got this on. Of course, I wish I could have got this, but that still needs to dry. It's not going to take much time to put that on. But you can kind of see we need to go back over, which any way that I paint, that's the way that I'm going to do it. I'm going to minimum of 2 coats. So that's why I kind of don't worry about how it goes on in the first go. It's the second, that's what I really want to know. I'm going to come in here and just paint these areas that I kind of worked on a little bit. I see there's a little spot right there. We're going to get that painted. I'll paint those white, and we're going to let these things dry. So we've made it back today, and we have taken care of the rest of this. There's a few little spots in there that I don't particularly care for, but instead of going back and keep, we're just going to go ahead and probably put 3 coats in this area. So let's just get cracking. Okay, now that we've finished all the painting, I may still put I've put 3 coats on this, so I may put another coat on this, which would make it 4, but that's just so that everything will have that same kind of grainy roller pattern on it. Some of it's smoother than others, and we'll get that so that that'll look nice. But I am going to change my attention to mortising out these here. The new knobs that I've got have to be inset, and so one of the things that I did do is I bought this Ryobi latch strike maker, and so what it does is you actually just put it in the right location and then strike it, and it'll actually embed this in so that then you can chisel that out. This is a composite door, so we'll really kind of see if that'll even work. But the one before just actually had that lock set, just was straight in there. So I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do with this, and we'll just kind of test it on one, and I'll probably come back when I can show you actually how to do it.